Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Simply Monique radio show. And I am your host, Monique. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. So, before I dive into introducing her, let's take a moment and listen to, thank you for joining I'm not sure, but thank you for joining HNZ, HMBWM. Whoever you may be, thank you for joining. I won't assume that, but I appreciate that. If you would, just go ahead, let me know who you are and where you're tuning in at the bottom of the chat. I would love to shout you out. Okay. Thank you. So what we're doing, we're just waiting for a little bit for our co-host to come on and join. How are you all doing today? Is everyone doing well? I hope so. So we're going to be discussing discovering your journey. Each person, right, have their own journey, their own path that they embark upon. And so sometimes that journey can lead us to a lot of directions, right? It can lead us down a path of positivity. It can lead us down a path of negativity. It just varies, you know what I mean? So we don't know. But what I do know is everyone has a decision to make in their life. And so everyone has a decision to make in their life. And these decisions can be positive or it can be negative. It can be a lot of things. So while we're still waiting, let's go ahead. I want to tell you all the purpose behind the Simply Monique radio show. Because our mission here is to empower, equip, and educate all our audience members to achieve success personally and professionally, right? And so what that may look like for you, that may look like you meeting with different people, and that may look like you meeting with different people to find out who and what they have to offer and how you guys can collaborate, right? It could be connecting you with mentors to give you guidance and wisdom. It could be allowing you to be able to sharpen you, maybe to help sponsor you for a class or any such thing. You know, it just varies, right? And so for some people, they may need therapy or counseling or wisdom, right? So that you're able to overcome a traumatic experience, right? That could be anything. Some people, right, have issues that they have dealt with, right? And so what we're going to do, I am going to kick off some music and you guys let me know. This is from David Benton. You guys tune in and listen to David Benton. Enjoy this segment and his music from David Benton as we get started.
Like it's so stingy, so corrupt, so gross. I'm creating anything I don't know, you so offended.
Let me know if you are able to listen and able to hear their music.
The world sick like it's so sting like so corrupt like so gross like I'm creating anything I don't know, you so offended. Slow to speak, quick to listen. Play your position, see your character is sickening. That's now they judging, you should be embarrassed as a Christian. Sweating you and wishing, you start comparing people and daring you to pivot. And share every minute, and you staring in the mirror. Look at your reflection, no matter the complexion. We all better affect it, we all better save it. The fact the world selfish, applause to the wealthy. But some of y'all ain't healthy, and some of y'all might tell me, I'm not a man of God. Some of y'all delusional, living in the eyes. Look at man in his eyes, look. You can see a part of his soul. He got out on parole, but got a heart full of gold. Can't trust you, so he talking in cold. That's why he stick his chest out and walking in bold. Ice in his veins, 'cause the world is frozen and cold. Higher ups, like Olympus, they talking to gold. You can't discourage people, nobody's sinless, so don't embarrass people. Stop pretending, I ain't different, another kind of species. Acting like your backside full of feces. Stop looking down on others, they don't worship Jesus. People rather rest in peace, not rest in peace. It's so sting like
right, all right. Good afternoon, good afternoon. I believe our co-host is on today. Lady Wisdom, is that you?
I I hope so.
Yes, it is you. It
Sound
is.
check. Okay, sound
Yes,
check.
ma'am.
All right, all right. Well, how are you?
I am great. I am great. Glad you are able to join.
Yes, hey, let me tell you now that Lady Wisdom is I'm gonna be completely transparent and honest. Lady Wisdom is of a different generation. So some of this new technology takes her a minute to kind of navigate, but we press forward, we press on till we get it. So thank you for being so patient with me. I now know.
Yes, no problem, no problem. I was, I was like, okay. I saw somebody join in the chat because people can join in the chat, and I was like, all right, let me see. And I wasn't sure who that was. I was like, I thought it was my cousin because he's supposed to be joining us today, but
No,
it is
yes,
okay.
no,
I had to figure out some stuff too, so.
yes, yeah, and that's hey, and that is part of the journey, just pressing on, pressing through. A lot of times as we navigate through our different seasons in life, and
Hmm.
as a baby boomer,
Right.
navigating through these different seasons, and as the world changes and things change, we have to adjust, adapt, and keep moving forward, not getting frustrated, not giving up, because things will constantly change, whether you're a baby boomer or doesn't matter what generation you're from. At some point in time, something in your world or something in society will shift or change from what it is that you're used to. So we have to pause, breathe, adjust, adapt, and move forward. And I just preached that to myself in the last 20 minutes.
That is all right. That is all right. That is all right. It's a preacher. You just gave us some wisdom anyhow. So yeah, for those of you who are just tuning in, welcome again to the Simply Monique radio show. I'm your host, Monique. And today, if you did not read the intro of the subject of the show, we are speaking with none other than Lady Wisdom. She is a serialpreneur, y'all. When I say serialpreneur, she's a multi-talented individual. She's an author, a speaker, a brand ambassador. Guess what, y'all? She's a model. When I say she's a model, I don't mean play model. I mean like a real life model, model. I've had the pleasure of seeing her on television and magazines. I was like, wait a minute. And even when I was doing training, I'm like, I know who this person is. It was just such an amazing moment to witness and to see that this woman, not only is she making a difference, right, in the world of community of authors, of leaders, and giving us wisdom, but she's a TV show host, right? She's an award-winning TV talk show host, right, of My Journey with Paula G. Man, when I tell you her quote is, write the vision, ladies and gentlemen, make it plain, be who you desire to be. Therefore, y'all, we are discussing her journey, and she's teaching us how to what? Discover the journey on today. And she always gave us some gems. So y'all know I like gems and tidbits and nuggets, and we like to recap. So we're going to do a lot of that on today. So welcome to the show, author, speaker, brand ambassador, actor, television award-winning host, Ms. Paula G, also known as Lady Wisdom. Thank you, and I salute you for paving the way for myself and others in this media world.
Oh, my dear sister, I had to pause a moment and take a line from The Color Purple. Harpo, who that woman? I said, who's she talking about? I'm just little old Paula.
Yes.
But I thank you for that. I thank you so much. I'm so honored and grateful. I always say, anytime you have an opportunity that you get an invite for a radio show, a television show, a panel facilitator, anything of that nature, it is indeed an honor. And, we hear people say often, you don't take it, should not take it lightly, should never, ever take it lightly, because that means that someone feels that what you have to offer is worthy of their platform. So thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Of course.
All right now.
Yes, ma'am, of course. So, what you all do not know about Lady Wisdom, she blessed me with an opportunity to be on her platform. It's been many years now, but opening the door. And so, you never take that for granted, as she stated there. And so, you believe in giving people their flowers. So, some questions I have for you.
Yes.
And I have for you. I wanted to know, like, I guess, what steps do you take, like, in beginning what steps do you take to start this new journey? Like, let's say you want to shift careers, because I know you've done a variety of things, but individuals who are shifting their careers, like, to start this new journey, what steps would do you take to start, I guess, that new career, if you will? What steps would you take? Discovering your journey, like, hey, I'm switching career fields, I'm going this direction, transitioning from, let's say, education to entrepreneurship. What steps would you take to go that route, if you will?
First and foremost, and I'm speaking for, I always have to preface with what I share is what has worked for me,
Mm-hmm.
and it may or may not work for others. There may be adjustments that may need to be made if someone is looking to implement what I'm suggesting. So just to kind of keep that in mind. But when we're looking at any change in our life, Monique, I have this phrase that the greatest conversation you will ever have is the one that takes place in between your ears.
Right, right.
What are you speaking to yourself? Is God a part of that conversation? And are you listening to his still small voice?
Yeah.
So if we were to look at steps, the first step I would have to say would be to have that conversation with yourself, to ask yourself why you want to make this particular change. Because a lot of times those changes are life changing. Why? Is it just something's happening in the moment? It's impulsive, it's emotional? Is it because there are other things in your life that have changed, that have caused this shift? You want to be prayerful about it and really meditate on it. I'm a strong believer in not being wishy-washy.
Right.
Once you make a decision, you move forward with it. Yes, sometimes there may be adjustments, there may be shifts, there may be changes that need to occur, but you want to, whenever we're making changes in our life, we want to have thought it through, prayed on it,
Mhm.
meditated on it,
Mhm. Mhm.
uh, written out some sort of plan, like you said at the top, you write the vision, you make it plain,
Yes.
write out some sort of plan as to what direction you're going in, having a goal, why you're going, why you're making this shift. Is it just I'm mad at my boss and now I want to go out and be an entrepreneur? That may not be a strong foundation to make that particular shift. So you really want to have a clear understanding, as clear as you can, as to why you're making this shift. Get some counsel from those who are where it is that you desire to be. Get some
Mhm.
advice, do some
Mhm.
research.
Mhm.
The internet is just a plethora of information, literally at your fingertips.
Right. Right.
Unlike my generation where you had to go to the library and the card catalog, and I know I'm dating myself, but you had to go to the library and the card catalog and,
Yes.
you look up all of this information. So
Mhm.
really doing your homework first
Right.
before you step across that threshold. That would be the first step, is to do your homework, to
Mhm.
make sure that you're making an informed decision, and that you educate yourself on as much information as you can about what it is you're stepping into, because you don't want to step into it and say, oh, I didn't realize this, and this, when you could have, had you done your proper homework, if you will.
I
Did I
think.
answer your question in a roundabout way?
Yes, no, it was direct. You gave so many other tidbits, and so I want to
Hmm.
kind of recap. I like what you asked when you said, "What are you speaking to yourself?" We can either choose to
Hmm.
speak life or speak death. You know what I'm saying? Over
Yes. Yes.
ourselves. And if
Hmm.
if if we sought the Lord about it, and if He gave you an answer, did we hear that still small voice as you mentioned? Are you
Hmm.
listening? Sometimes
Hmm.
we could be listening, but we don't like the answer God gave us. So
Yes.
we don't follow the directions. We go our own route, which leads us down a different path, you know,
Right.
wide and straight, the two options. But sometimes we on that wide path for years and years at a time, and it gets us nowhere. And and I say nowhere because a lot of places we end up being has not been productive or positive for us. However, we look at the positive in the situation. And so it's recommended as far as, like you said, doing your homework before you take a leap out there, getting counsel, getting guidance. Because I know, in your book, you have more than one book, if I'm correct. You have more than one book.
Yes, I have two now.
Yes,
Yes.
you have,
Yeah.
you have two now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
And what I wanted, the other thing I wanted to say is sometimes life will force the change.
Yes.
Sometimes there will be shifts, there will be changes in your life that you have no control over, that you will find yourself in a different position, having to go to move in a different direction. That was my journey. That's how my journey started. I had some life changing circumstances that I really did not have control over. I did not see them coming, nor was I really happy about them
Right, right, definitely. I
occurring.
understand.
You,
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
yes,
So
yes.
sometimes it's the changes in life that you don't have control over, that you find yourself in a different space, in a different season, and having to make some shifts and change,
Mm-hmm.
some life changing shifts in your
Mm-hmm.
life, and moving in a completely different direction.
Yes, yes.
So that's the other aspect of it. But even when that occurs, you still have to go through that same process. You still have to sit still. You still have to have that conversation in between your ears. You still have to be prayerful. You have to then look at your options, because you may be in a position, I didn't expect to be in this position. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what it is that I desire to do.
That
So
part.
that, yes, that will take some, and again, that was my journey, because the shift in my life, I found myself in a position that I have no idea what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, because I've always been, this, or I've always been that.
Right,
And
right.
I'm kind of speaking in general, but and I like to, when I share, I kind of like to try to share in general, because your listeners, your viewers may not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily be able to relate to the specific story, but they can
Mm-hmm.
relate to the
Yeah.
lesson from the story.
Yes, yes, yes.
Not everyone that's listening was a military spouse for 23 years, and then when
Right.
that ended, you found yourself in a place of, what am I going to do for the rest of my life?
Mm-hmm.
But you may be able to relate to, yes, I was in this position for a number of years, that ended, and now I find myself on a different threshold.
Right.
Most people can
Yeah.
relate to that. So that's why I tend to speak in general. But yeah, when those shifts occur that you didn't see coming, you don't have any control over, you still have to go through that same process.
Right. Yes, I certainly agree. And so
Hmm.
I would share this. Thank you for joining, Queen Lady. Thank you for joining. You can post your comments in the chat, and I will respond to them. Respond to them. So our topic we're talking about is discovering your journey. And a little bit later, Wisdom shared with us that she had to go through some different transitions in her life, which caused her to figure out where and what, and she did not like those things. Just like I have had experiences as well, that I did not like certain transitions, certain opportunities that happened based on some decisions that I had made, and then also some decisions that others made. And so being able to reflect and discover, okay, what path am I going? God, is this the direction you want me to go to or not? Like relocating to different states, different cities, different
Hmm.
careers, but also sometimes discovering your journey requires failure. You may fail at a few
Yes.
things, right? We may fail at certain things, but if we fail at something, doesn't mean, okay, that's not our pace or our lane. It may not be for that time of that season. We may have to let go of things. And so
Hmm.
I know that I have had to let go of some things in careers, some businesses, because okay, I came to a stopping point, and I'm sure we all have come to a stopping point, which brings me to this question here. Having been an author and having been, a speaker, all these different titles there, at any
Hmm.
point in your journey have you figured, okay, this chapter has come to an end for me? What what allow you to recognize I'm at this stopping point here?
Okay, first, before I answer that question, I just want to do a sound check and make sure that I'm still being heard clearly.
Yes, I can hear you. It
Okay.
was yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Yeah.
It was breaking up a little bit, but it stopped.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we've been smooth
Because I was
sailing.
kind of sensing it.
Yes,
Okay. So the question was, what made me realize that I had to make a shift?
yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
And this is one of those areas that really requires some discerning.
Okay, okay.
When doors started to close, when when doors consistently seem to close, when obstacles consistently seem to be in place. And the reason I say that that has to be a discerning moment, because that can go one of two ways. You know, sometimes the devil will throw things in our path to deter us from moving in the direction that God desires us to move in. Sometimes God will place things in our path to deter us from from continuing to move in that particular direction, because he desires us to move in another direction. So for me, the recognition was those doors basically closing, but other doors in other areas opening, where I felt I was being used more as a blessing, in those areas where I was reaching more people, where I felt I was blessing more people, I was having an impact on more people. And I was, again, being prayerful about it and saying, you know, Lord, you've placed these gifts, or you place these talents, or you place these things inside of me. And while, yes, I can use them over here in the area where the doors are starting to close, but I can also use other aspects of those gifts and talents in these areas where doors seem to be opening more. And in that process, it seems to be, Lord, you seem to be utilizing me in a manner that is encouraging to others, is blessing others, and helping others in their journey, if that makes any sense.
Yes, ma'am. It does. It does. I want to give some different questions to you, and I appreciate you answering them. A little bit more, I guess, pointed questions, right? So we want to
Mm-hmm,
help
mm-hmm,
people to discover their journey, right? And some questions I would
mm-hmm,
ask you, and you can, I'll ask you, and I would say, what
okay.
is the greatest challenge you've overcome, and how you can help others with it? What is the greatest challenge that you've overcome, and how you can help others with it?
The greatest challenge I would have to say that I have had to overcome is the conversation in between my own ears.
Mhm. Mhm.
My whole brand is birthed out of my journey, so I'm very honest about that.
Right.
That's the greatest challenge, because when you walk a certain path in life and you're defined by that path,
Mhm.
and then you find yourself having to switch gears, the
Mhm.
confidence may not always be there.
Right. Right.
The recognition of the ability may not always be there. And it requires a mindset shift
Mhm.
in understanding and recognizing what it is that you have within you to offer,
Mm.
giving yourself grace, like you said before,
Right.
giving yourself grace and understanding that in order to get to victory, to the reward, to the blessing, to the manifestation of what it is that you desire to do, you have to be okay, and you have to accept, and you have to embrace and coexist with failure upon that journey, with mistakes upon that journey, with
Mm.
errors upon that journey, because every time you fail at, every time you make a mistake, you're one step closer to success, because
Right.
that's one more thing that you can check off, say, okay, that didn't work, that didn't work, that didn't work. I might have failed, or I might have made 10 mistakes,
Mhm.
but come your 11th or 12th try, you're getting it right, because each time that you maybe fail, or there's an obstacle, you learn from it, and you know, okay, that's one more thing that I've learned that's not going to help me move in this
Right.
direction.
Right.
And then you continue to shift gears until you get to that point of success. And then once you get to that point of success, the, the wisdom that you have gained on the journey as to what worked and what didn't work, and
That
the adjustments that you make along the way, and that is how you rise up, and that is how you obtain that point of reaching that those successes. I can't remember her last name, first name I think it was Kathy of TV1.
oh yeah, Kathy Lee, you talking about Kathy
I
Lee, the black
believe she
lady?
said years ago. Thank you. Yes, I think she had, was it, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, maybe 100 rejections
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of going to
Media places,
people
the
to
radio
find her.
stations.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
before she finally reached success at
Yeah.
TV1.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but along that way, she learned, okay, well, I know next time not to do that, or I know next time not to phrase it that way, or I know next time to write it. Each time she learned something from each no,
Mm-hmm.
and kept making adjustments and kept kind of massaging her plan, her proposal. So she got to the point where she finally got that one yes, because it only takes one yes.
It only takes one yes. I love
Yes.
that statement. You shared
Hmm.
everything, but it only takes one
It only
yes.
takes one yes. You could have 900 no's, and I'm exaggerating, but it only takes one yes. And I don't know if you've ever seen on social media, it's
Mm-hmm.
that cartoon where you've
Mm-hmm.
got two men digging a tunnel,
Yes. Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
one of they're both right at the point where it just took one more hit of that shovel,
Right.
and
Right.
they would break through. And
Mm-hmm.
the one man, took that one more hit of that shovel before he broke through to the freedom or wherever he was going,
Yes.
and he turned around,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the other one hit it that one more time and broke through. So for me, that's the mindset when I hit an obstacle. At first, discerning, okay, what is the source of this obstacle? Is this an obstacle where the devil's trying to keep me from doing what God has ordained me to do, or is this God blocking something because He wants me to move in a different direction? Got to discern that. But
That
once He's determined, that this, I know this is the direction that God desires me to go, and I've gotten confirmation, then I'm going to keep digging. I'm going to keep digging. I'm going to keep moving forward, and I'm going to keep moving forward,
yeah.
because it just takes that one yes. And when you arrive on the threshold of that one yes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
be prepared. Be prepared. Always be prepared. If you have to practice or study or whatever it is, never give up on any of those day-to-day tedious, monotonous things that sometimes we give up on,
Right.
because it just takes that one yes. And when you're at that moment, you want to be prepared.
For
You
sure.
know, preparation can be a lonely, monotonous, and tedious thing. But when that opportunity knocks, you want to be prepared. Make
You,
sense?
yes, definitely, definitely. It does. It does. It does. It kind of reminds me of like being a radio host. Like there's people I've
Yes.
been asked like, hey, can you provide me the questions beforehand? I've only done that once because
Yes.
I've only done that once, but I learned from you, right? Because
Yes.
I'm having authentic conversations with people.
Authentic conversation. Yes,
Yeah.
because I would all, oh, you're absolutely right. Thank you for that. You're absolutely right. And I've had that, yeah, I've had that experience as well. As maybe once or twice, but my disclaimer was always, I can't guarantee that I'm going to stick to those questions, because you may answer a question, and the
Hmm.
way in which you answer it may prompt me to ask something different, because I'm listening to a conversation, not looking at the paper.
Right, right. Because I have
I'm
some
listening.
questions
Yes.
that I was going to ask you, But it's just like, okay, I'm like different points. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to go this direction. And so, like you said, it's about listening to the
Yeah.
person, and you can go a different direction, because when you said that one yes, it made me think about that different opportunity, and how you said the guy with the cartoon, I visualize, because I'm a visual learner, right? I can see that happening. And there are a lot of times we have obstacles, different things we're trying to climb and get to. And so had he just keep digging, he would have gotten out of there. I think it was like diamonds or something like that they supposed to really go through.
Yes,
So he did.
something like that.
Yeah, but he didn't get the treasure. And so sometimes on our journey, we may find some poop in the journey. We may find some nonsense, some junk, some trauma, certain things on our journey. But at the end, once we reach that destination, we find out it was worth it. It's just like once you decide, hey, you coming to Christ, like it was worth coming over here. Yeah, I get frustrated. Sometimes I get upset. I deal with certain things, but it was worth it. Giving Christ that one yes, and even receiving that one yes. When I got into the multi-level marketing business years ago, this lady told me, she said, all you need is one yes. When you just keep going, you're going to get one yes. And when I got one yes, multiple yeses came. However, I said, I got a bunch of no's, like you mentioned earlier, with 900 no's. But you just need one yes. You get a bunch of them.
Yeah,
But,
and yours, I used to tell my students, because in one of my seasons of life, I was a professional school counselor, and all of my year I was certified kindergarten through 12th grade, but all of my years were on the high school level. And I would always tell my students, you never know who's watching, you never know who's listening, and whoever's maybe watching that you might not be aware of, whoever may be listening that you may not be aware of, that person or persons may be the one yes.
Exactly, for sure. I want to shout out someone very New York, up in New York. I want to try to bring you up real quick, but I'm not able to do anything right now. I'm sorry. Can I bring you up, Harold? This is my cousin, you guys.
Oh,
comment in the chat.
Cousin.
Come on, and you can ask some questions if you want to. Okay. If you want to. Let me know, comment in the chat if you want to come up and you want to join, and you can comment in here and speak. I'm going to give you guys a little bit on there. Okay. I don't see anything in the comments in the chat, so I guess not. But I just want to shout out my cousin Harold in New York for being live with us on the show today, and tuning in and listening to Discovering Your Journey with Lady Wisdom. And so some things we've been talking about, is a little bit of recap here to go back to the top of the show. We're going to play some music here shortly. In the beginning, we mentioned, it was a few things we talked about listening, speaking over yourself positively, as far as thinking, having clear understandings, getting counsel, doing your homework, taking notes, researching before, you're welcome, because before you kind of dive into certain things and decisions. Additionally, we want to also highlight, when it comes to your journey, realizing the path that you're on and what direction the steps are going to take for you to get there. Understanding that you're not going to have Paula Lady Wisdom's journey. You're not going to have Monique's journey at all, because we are different generations. But she mentioned earlier about the library story. Yeah, I had to do the same thing. Go to the library. We had library cards and little index cards, and go try to research. It wasn't no computer on the computer to go look for your book. No, I had to search through all these little box of things so I could find the book that I wanted. Okay, and so if you didn't understand the signs and things, nowadays sometimes I kind of like that a little bit better, because sometimes when I go to the library, y'all, sidebar, when I go to the library and there's the computer, sometimes I may not be able to find what I'm looking for, because I'm looking for it. I'm like, listen, can you just give me this, or give me the book, the box, let me find what I'm looking for that way, because it changes. And so some parts of discovering your journey is being able to adapt, like you said earlier, adapt and adjusting to change. And on that note, y'all, I'm going to play this song that I believe is suitable for us to listen to regarding changing, right, our times and our seasons, and knowing that we are God built, okay, for the time and the season that we are in. This is by Mr. Debonair. And we may listen to Miss Shay Sams. We'll see. I might throw that in there. We don't know just yet.
All right.
Here we go.
a kingdom business, so I got these devils hot. I ain't gotta get revenge, look at how God get on they top. Call Jesus, he the big homie. Trouble coming, can't fold me. Demons trouble, can't hold me. I got anointing all on me. Jesus is the bag, bought me out, he paid the price. Been redeemed, what it mean? From the grave I came to life. So I'm giving devils hell, loving God, and you can tell. Weapons form, but they fell. I'm getting heavy, check the scale. Boy, they got that little God, my God be the big G. Pressure plus a problem, the results of Christ's life for me. I know that it's a war, ascending on them, going up. God built haters mad, so they huff and they puff. Elected through his grace, qualified by the living God. Jesus took the curse, if I ain't blessed, you know they telling lies. God be working miracles, look at me, I'm the proof. Now they know I know the truth, these devils don't know what to do. Go to God, prayer works, never let no devil lurk. I keep the kingdom first, then benefit from kingdom perks. Endowed, so I'm energized. Critics, they get minimized. The adversary recognize I'm chosen by the Most High. Breaking through the blockage, all that hating, they can stop it. Big motion while they watching, it's my time, so I'm TikToking. God built, what's up? I'm God built, what's up? I'm God built, what's up? I'm God built, what's up? Don't be no hater boy, don't be no hater boy, don't be no hater boy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. I hope you guys enjoyed that message and know that you are God built during this journey. So, nope, the music trying to keep going. We're not doing that right now. Pause.
Try to
Take a
keep
break.
going.
Yes, trying to keep going. Sometimes we have that, and this is live, so there's no edits and take backs right now. But we thank you guys for enduring with us on the Simply Monique radio show. So, some questions I do want to ask, so that when we are on task and letting our listeners know, regarding their journey. And so, I know we've all faced different hurdles, different obstacles to get there. And so to get there. But so, what do you think? I know people say tenacity, grit, and all these different things to get to a certain destiny and a goal, if you will. And I want to say this here, destiny. That word has kind of stood out to me, and I was saying that destiny. I think a lot of times people think their destiny is tied to money, right?
Come on.
Tied to money, and they realize that's not your purpose, right? That destiny is not tied to money. Yes, the Bible says money answers all things, but don't be confused about your destiny or thinking that your destiny is tied to how much money you have, how much wealth you have, because your destiny, ladies and gentlemen, is tied to Christ. If you allow it to be so, ultimately at the end, you can have all the money in the world and not have peace, not have joy. I heard a rapper T.I. say in his Sunday was taken by saying recently that your wealth is your mom, your parents having love, having support, not materialistic things. And so don't tie your destiny, ladies and gentlemen, to people, to things, because people are going to fail you. They're going to disappoint you, and they're going to really just hurt your feelings. And I'm speaking this real transparently right here. You hurt your feelings, but your destiny is not tied to people. Your destiny is tied to your purposes, to Jesus Christ, for those who believe in Christ. You know, if you don't, that's on you. But I sure hope you will come on this side here, because it's lovely over here. It get hectic sometime, you know what I'm saying? But it's lovely over here. But your destiny at the end, right, is not tied to finances. And so I just want to kind of put that in there, because the word kind of stood out to me, you know, a little bit, and I was going in a different direction. But when I said it, it struck something on the inside of me. And so fulfilling your destiny, fulfilling your purpose requires mentorship and leadership, ladies and gentlemen. And so Paula G Lady Wisdom has shared with us that share with us different avenues, you know, and different steps and tools that we can use to discover our journey. It may require you sitting still, listening, speaking to the Lord, asking questions. It will require you decide, hey, is this decision made out of emotions, or is it based on intellect, wisdom, strategy? Incorporating those things on your journey, because you may not have a yield sign right there. You know, you may have a stop sign, which means just stop. Don't pass, go and collect $200. It's not a Monopoly game, you know? And so, yes, ma'am. So, I would ask you this question here. When have you really changed your mind about something along your journey? When have you really changed your mind about something, like something? I know as women, we change our mind about stuff a lot when it comes to our wardrobe, you know, but when would you say you may have changed your mind about something? Like you really changed your mind?
I think recently it ties into what you were just saying about destiny. where I won't necessarily call it a change of mind, but a shift.
Okay.
So as you mentioned, I am a voiceover talent.
Yes.
And I was submitting auditions for voiceover work for pay, of course,
Mhm.
which I still do. But I found myself gravitating more toward there's a radio station here in the Atlanta area. It's
Mhm.
called Vocal Point, formerly Georgia Radio Reading Service, and it's
Mhm.
internet radio for the blind and visually impaired. And I've been volunteering for them for the past almost 10 years. Live broadcasts, voiceover, recording audiobooks, basically doing voiceover for them as a
Mhm.
volunteer.
Yes.
And as of late, I have found myself gravitating more in that direction. When you were saying our destiny is not necessarily tied to the monetary
Mhm.
rewards, I have found myself gravitating more in that direction and focusing more and spending more time doing those recordings
Mhm.
versus seeking auditions for monetary reasons. Now, granted, monetary is great, don't get me
Yes.
wrong,
Right. Right. It is. Yeah.
and I don't depend on it, but
Right. Right.
I have just found myself being drawn more in that direction. So it's been more of a shift.
Mhm.
And the thing is, I've been okay with it. I've been okay with it.
Yes.
Sometimes it may be, well, yeah, I need to do more voiceover because, the income is not coming in.
Right. Right.
No, it's not coming in, but I'm okay with it.
That
I don't know if
part.
that makes any sense. I'm okay with it. I'm
Yes.
okay because I feel more freedom. I feel more relaxed. I feel as though I am making more of an impact by the feedback that I'm getting,
Mhm.
that I'm
Mhm.
impacting lives. When you have individuals that are blind and visually impaired,
Right.
and their only source of information or connection is their ear gate, and you
Right.
have the voice that meets their ear gate, oh my gosh.
That.
So it's more of a shift versus a change of mind.
Mhm. Mhm.
There are going to be things that will occur in our lives that are going to cause us to. I like to look at it more through that lens of a shift
Mhm.
versus a change of mind.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It's
I can
more of
respect.
yes, more of a shift in your mindset because as you grow,
Mhm.
as you gain more wisdom, you keep living, you keep learning, you keep applying what you've learned.
Yes.
We all can have a surname of wisdom,
Yes, ma'am.
as we're taking that journey. So as the different seasons occur in our lives, and it doesn't matter if we're 20 years old, 30 years old, 50, 60 years old,
Mhm.
we're always going to have shifts. We're always going to have things that will occur that will shift. I had my dear godfather. He's been passed some years ago, but he used to play this little game with me. It's called Old Maids, and that was a game that we played years ago with cards. And I remember one time I didn't like the hand that I was being dealt, and I went to
Mm.
reach for more cards, and he kind of popped my hand. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting more cards because I don't like these cards that I have in my hand." And he told me something in that moment. He said, life is not going to deal you another hand. And you've got to play the hand that you've been dealt and play to the best of your ability. Even if you know that it may be a losing hand,
Mhm.
you're going to go down with a fight, playing it to the best of your ability. So I said all that to say, when we were talking about changing our mind,
Mhm.
sometimes there are things that occur in our lives where we have to make those informed decisions.
Mhm.
We have to when we get to that threshold of am I going to change my mind about this, making an informed decision, making sure you're clear as to why you're making that change or you're changing your mind about whatever it is, being thoughtful about that and being methodical about why the change of mind or why the change of heart.
Yes.
Is that me or you?
That was me. That was me. I was trying to hit, I was, it was, I hit the button too quick. I was trying to ding, ding, ding you and I hit the button too quick.
Live radio. I love it.
For sure. It was
I
supposed to
love
like
it.
ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding. Yeah.
Yes, yes. But yeah, that and Monique, as I've kind of navigated through life,
Mhm.
I've learned that other than the love that God has for us,
Mhm.
the fact that He will never leave us nor forsake us,
Yes.
there are always going to be changes. There are always going to be shifts in our seasons of life. And as we're changing and as we're shifting, just being thoughtful, and again, I know I'm repeating myself, but just being thoughtful and intentional, that's the word I was looking for,
Yes.
and methodical about if you're going to change, make sure
Mhm.
you understand why you're making that change.
Right, that part. Oh my goodness. The understanding of why I think it's challenging with this generation
Yes.
that we have now. I feel
Hmm.
like they're going through more changes now than ever than when I was coming up.
Right.
Like it's just so many things here, and with the things that's happening in the economy, kind of
Hmm.
shifting gears because we're discovering our journey. These
Hmm.
kids are trying to. I met a young lady, recently, not it's maybe about a month or two, give or two ago, and I learned something about her that I was not aware of. And
Hmm.
so she's discovering herself, figuring out herself. I'm like, God, I know you place people in my life for a reason. And
Yes.
so figuring it out, I'm like, okay, God, how do I handle, what do I say, with this information that's being shared. And with
Yes.
our young people, we have to be careful what we say now,
Yes.
what we do and how, because they are so impressionable, right?
Yes.
And some of them are so tender hearted, if you will,
Yes.
with what you say. Recently, seeing all the things that's in the news that's going on with the young, I saw some young 12, I think 12, 11, 13-year old
Hmm.
now
Hmm.
facing criminal adult charges right now for the decisions that they made on this journey that they have so early, and their lives are in some would say thrown away. But I know that
Yes.
we serve a redeeming God, and so He can redeem the time for them. But this is what you said recently. Um, what God is able to do for them and how what God's able to do for them and for us. But
Hmm.
having a clear direction and understanding, I don't know if their parents had that or not, but those who are listening going to listen to the replay, please get a clear understanding of what your child is doing, what they're watching, what they're listening to, and
Oh
what
my
direction,
goodness. Yes.
yes, and what direction and path that you're leading them on and where you're going, right? You need to know where you're going, what you're doing,
Yes. Yeah.
for sure,
I
because, yep, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think it's so important to your point, and with this newer generation, they've got so much in their defense. They've
Hmm.
got so much coming at them. It is overwhelming,
Yes,
and
yes.
in stages of our young lives at elementary school age, our middle school, our high school,
Mhm.
our developmental um, status may not be able to accommodate the information or
Mhm.
the circumstances that that particular child is being met with at that particular point in their lives.
Very
Tech
true.
Technology can be our best friend, but
Mhm.
it can be our worst enemy. And
Yes.
when our young people are constantly, because that's what they're being raised on. It's not their fault. They're
Right.
being raised on the technology. So a lot of those things that some of us learned coming up are not being um, learned or not
Mhm.
being experienced because the
Mhm.
opportunity
Mhm.
is not there. Just something as simple as, and I know the younger generation, I know they get tired of hearing this, but just hear me out. We might say, when we were growing up, we during the summer,
Mhm.
we went out after breakfast and we didn't come back till the street lights came on, and then we might have come in and ate a peanut butter jelly sandwich, but everything else we had to figure out. Drank from
Right.
the water hose, and
Yeah.
we
That
didn't
was
have all these
good times.
toys.
That was good
Right.
times.
But here's the thing with all of that. The
Yeah.
the thing is, being out there all day long,
Mhm.
we were problem solving, we were
Yes.
communicating, we were
Yes.
figuring things out
Yes.
because we didn't have any choice.
Mhm.
We
That's
had
true.
to.
Yeah, that is
But
true.
if a young person now is in a lot of them are on their devices
Mhm.
the majority of the time. You're missing all of those things.
Yes.
So when it comes time to interact, when it comes time to problem solve or figure things out,
Mhm.
those skills may not have been developed. Again, it's not their fault because it's just we're in a we're in a push button society now.
It is even the school system now. Like
Yes, yes,
I had textbooks coming up, and brown
yes,
paper bag it and everything. And
yes,
now
yes,
I'm having been a teacher. I go to classroom. Them jokers pulling out tablets and oh no, Miss such and such. It's we got. I was like, what the? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's on the tablet. You
It's
can
on the
put it in
tablet
AI, and it's
and
right there.
it's
Yeah.
right
So
there.
so all of those
I'm
things
learning new
that we
math and
learn.
everything.
Yes, all of those things that we learn, those
Yeah.
problem solve patience
Mhm.
in the process of all of that, we had to learn patience because it wasn't
Mhm.
at our fingertips. So again, it's not their fault because of the push button microwave society that we are now in today.
Yes.
It's starting at young. It's like you said, it's starting in the schools and so forth. So therefore, you get to the age where you get to middle school or high school, what have you, and you're faced with things that that they may not have the capacity to handle
Mhm. Mhm.
because there was something to be said in all of those things that we had to do manually, or we had to
Yes.
do the old-fashioned way or the hard
Right.
way, or whatever it is. But to your point, communicating,
Yes.
with your young people, please, parents, if you're on, please, 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 parents, don't let if you're downstairs and your child is upstairs, please don't let them text you. Make them come out their room, come downstairs, and say what they have to say to you, or you go upstairs, or what have you. But
Mhm.
I've seen some parents where they're upstairs and a child's downstairs. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm texting my son. Is he upstairs?
Mhm. Simple things,
Yeah,
and that impact their
yes,
communication, interaction skills. They lack interpersonal
yeah,
communication and
interaction.
skills.
There you go.
Interaction.
Socialization, all of
Yes.
those things.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
all of those things. But yeah, we really have to get love on our young people. We really have to support our young people because they're just being inundated with so much
Mhm.
nowadays, and it's at times I say it's really not fair to them.
For
Um,
sure. For sure. It's
because of
not.
what they can. Yes, yeah.
It is. It is. You all, we
Mhm.
have been together for quite some time. And before we wrap it up, I'm going to play one more other song, let you guys listen to a few ads, and we're going to wrap it up with Lady Wisdom. She's given us a lot of nuggets. I hope you guys been tuning in. And I may do another recap. I do not know. But I hope you guys had your pens and your pads
Can,
out and taking some notes.
can
Okay?
I say one more thing though
Yeah. Yes, before we take the break.
before
Yes.
yeah
Mm-hmm.
before because I know you have to go to break. I just want to say to you, to say to your audience, and say to you that I am, first of all, thank you for this opportunity. Second of all, I am so proud of you and how far you have come. I enjoyed this conversation, the questions. I said, look at Monique. I
Oh.
enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed the really uh, thoughtful questions that had meat to them. Um, that we were able to have this conversation. As
Yes.
I've said, when you were first starting, it's about the conversation. You and I are
Yes.
having conversation, and
Mm-hmm.
your listeners just happen to be eavesdropping on our
Yes. Yes.
conversation.
Yes. That's what you call me. Yes.
Yes, it's just
Yes.
having a conversation. So thank you so much. I'm so proud of you, and I pray that God will continue to open the doors of opportunity for you to walk through and for you to continue to bless, grow, and inspire.
Thank you so much. That means so much. I know I told y'all in the beginning that she graced me with her platform, but this was my first opportunity to be on television was through yours
Hmm.
truly, you all. I'm telling you. So when I say it's this full circle moment right here. And I
Yes,
was so
yes.
nervous and oh my gosh, but that opportunity didn't come to me like pushing myself out there,
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
came through serving. That's a whole nother subject right there.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's a whole. You know what? I just remembered that. That's a
Yeah, go ahead.
That might be part. Yeah. No, I was going to say that. Yes, because the opportunity became available
Mhm.
because you were referred to me when I was doing my live tapings in Atlanta as
Yeah.
someone that would be able to help and come and volunteer and assist and all of those sort of things. And
Uh-huh.
in that process of, you're absolutely right, of
Serving.
serving
Mhm.
and during that time you kind of sharing your journey and your vision and so forth. I'm like, you know what? This would make a good guest.
Yeah.
And so you're absolutely right.
Yep. It happened. Full circle moment. Full
Yes.
circle moment, right? Now we're discovering our journey. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a music break and let you guys listen to a few ads and enjoy this music by Kiwana Owens, Silent Worship.
Once I was lost, but now I'm found. Just trying to find my way and figure it out. Maybe if I dedicate my time to the purpose that He has for me, then I could see the light of a brand new kind of love. Even when I wasn't sure, even when I'm down, He keeps on lifting me up. So when you can't find the words to say, you don't need no words to pray. Even in silence, I still worship Him. Silent worship, silent worship. Yes, it's quiet, but He can hear you. Silent worship, silent worship. Worship Him in silence. He told me to be still and know that He is God. I know you try not to complain when life is getting hard. I know it's rough, but He'll be there. Bless Him with a silent prayer. Even when I'm down, He lets me know He cares. So when you can't find the words to say, you don't need no words to pray. Even in silence, I still worship Him. Silent worship, silent worship. Yes, it's quiet, but it can hear you. Silent worship, silent worship. Worship Him in silence.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Coach Shay Samuels of Let's Talk Business Consulting Group, LLC. Are you ready to take your business global? Well, join us every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. via Zoom for our business-to-business global networking call. There you will find like-minded and wealth-minded business owners with the same mindset as you to grow, profit, collaborate, and build. For more information, reach into us at ltbglobalnetworking@gmail.com.
Yo, what it do? This David Benson from Beyond the Fence Enterprise. Just want to give a big shout out to Simply Monique Radio Show. I salute you with both hands. That gonna be great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. So we would like to thank our guest, our co-host, if you will, Lady Wisdom, Miss Paula G, for tuning in with us and sharing us with her nuggets of wisdom, letting us know what it takes to discover your journey. Part of discovering your journey, ladies and gentlemen, it is, at first, what are you speaking over yourself? What are you saying to yourself? Have you heard the still small voice of the Lord? What, if you did, are you listening, right? Some of the goals that you can set, some gems that you can do to help you discover your journey. Get counsel, right? Do your homework. Don't jump ahead. Don't dive into things prematurely, right? Also, one thing, the latter part of the show, she mentioned to us this is the question I want to pose to you all. What do you do with the cards that you are dealt with? If you get a bad hand, if you're a spades player, and you don't have too many spades in there, you know what I'm saying? And however you have a couple of hearts, some diamonds, and your partner, you done overbid. So what do you do? You know what I'm saying? You don't want to renege and anything like that. So what do you do with that hand? Okay, do you re-strategize? Yes, you re-strategize. You dust yourself off, you start back up again. You can't toss the cards in. But what you can do is rethink, re-strategize, lay it before the Lord at his feet, and ask him what direction you need to take. Proverbs 3, 5, 6, and 7 tells that we should trust in the Lord with all our heart, right? And lean not into our own understanding. If in all our ways we acknowledge him, and he will do what, y'all? He will direct our paths. So with that nugget there, I want to leave that with you all. Lady Wisdom, if you have any last thing you want to share with our audience, go ahead.
I just want to say there was a sermon that I heard about a month ago, and the preacher said that we need to, and listen carefully, y'all, we need to start doing the one thing that the devil does very well. We need to all start doing the one thing that the devil does very well, and that is he never gives up. He keeps attacking, he keeps coming at us, and keeps trying to turn us away from our Lord and Savior. He never gives up. We have to do that same thing. Never give up. Keep moving forward. Keep drawing toward our Lord and Savior. Whatever it is that God has placed in our path, we never, 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 under any circumstances, never give up, because we may be just that one shovel away from breaking through to our reward, to our blessing and our diamonds. So we should never, never, ever give up, and stay encouraged along the way. God will bless you. And thank you so much again, Monique.
Yes, ma'am. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for tuning in into another segment of the Simply Monique Radio Show. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you all stay up and be blessed. And remember to, as Pastor Mo would say, go in peace.
Said I'm on faith, talking no chase, straight jump through, pop off, paint plays. Said I'm going apes, how I motivate, rocking with God like this every day. Look at my faith, believe God, look at my faith, oh God, wait. Look at my faith, receive what I pray. Look at my faith, yes sir, I don't play. I'm rocking with God, they know how I pop off, and if they ain't on what I'm on, then watch how quick they drop off. The exit while I'm turned up, so excited and hypey. I said cause I got Christ, come and try me, you gon' like it. Catch me out in traffic with the windows down, I'm loud. Giving glory to the King of Kings, that's my style. Making boss moves, I keep it on the buck. I know the devil mad, but I got angels in the cup. Think the Mega Million plus flex and let them know what's up. And it be me and Jesus moving on the up and up. I ain't never turning down, in the kingdom I be lit. I stay on go, my faith don't hit. Said I'm on faith, talking no chase. Straight jump through, pop off, paint plays. Said I'm going apes, how I motivate. Rocking with God like this every day. Look at my faith, believe God, look at my faith, oh God, I wait. Look at my faith, receive what I pray. Look at my faith, yes sir, I don't play. Everything I got, God gave cause I believed him. When I was so low, he came and I received him. Faced with situations that seemed impossible. Faith in God made me so unstoppable. Now I'm going apes, popping off a big faith. Never gonna turn my back. I really love God like that. Keep devils on they back. The blood hit hard like that. Jesus is Lord and I ain't the same. I call in his name. Hallelujah. Deliver from sin. The devil's afraid. Look at how I bang. Hallelujah. He rose in 3 days. The bar was so raised. We was amazed. Nothing was staged. He was on blaze. The world was so phased. He was erased. They tried to say, look at him hate. He is my life. Everything changed. Now I'm remade.
be divine. If you come inside of my life and live in my heart, I'm gonna be fine.
All right. Thank you all again for tuning in. Just want to play a few snippets of music from King Dappernaire. Today on the show, you heard from Kiwana Owens, Silent Worship. You also heard from David Benton, right? He's an artist based in the Georgia, Tennessee area, if you will. You heard from King Dappernaire. We listened to God Built. If you are interested in booking either one of these artists, King Dappernaire or Kiwana, even David Benton, send us a message at simplyMoniqueRadioShow@gmail.com. If you would like to advertise with us, send us an email there as well, simplyMoniqueRadioShow@gmail.com. Thank you to our sponsors, Let's Talk Business Consulting Group. Also, thank you to W Energy Drink, as well as the Beginning